Okay, perfect. It's recording. So basically, a lot of people think that this is a woman's business. There is an overabundance of women doing this, and so we are growing like rapidly as far as the men that we are taking into our team daily. And so I just want them to hear from you. It's hard, as a 4'10" female trying to show women how to be successful or show men how to be successful in the business, because I'm obviously going to say what I do, and that's might not be what a man is going to do. So I know that myself and a lot of other people are really interested in hearing your guys' stories. And just if you had an aha moment, were you like in it to win it whenever you first started? Was there something that happened? I don't know if I'm assuming that your wives both started first and then you took some control somewhere along the way. So anyways, we want to know that. And then also how you work your business. So what like a day looks like for you that you're successfully working your business, if that works. So Thomas, if you want to start, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Did that work?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. It's funny. It says Ashley Hughes under my name. Okay, so let me just give you guys a background on me and Ashley in the business. She's been in it for 3.5 years. She's an ambassador. First year in the business, I wasn't super crazy supportive, really. It's not that I didn't believe in the company. I didn't believe that things didn't work. I just was really vested in the things that I was doing and what I was interested in, kind of. Until I really saw, obviously, the opportunity of revenue that was being made. Ashley brought me home at about a year, but I think at her 6-month mark, she hit diamond and got a $10,000 bonus. I was a scaffold builder through a union. I was a safety manager, and it was like $25 an hour. I got free benefits. It was pretty sweet. It wasn't a terrible gig, but it was also very physically demanding. But I'm kind of like that person that thrives on like the physical atmosphere. Like I love like competitiveness. I love like trying to go as fast as I can to do things, and scaffolding was like right up my alley. So I hated being gone all the time, but I also was very into the physical demanding side of things. I actually like that. Ashley got a $10,000 bonus. I went into my boss and I was like, hey dude, my wife just got a $10,000 bonus. And my boss was like my really good friend. And he's like, well, what are you asking for a raise? And I was like, yeah, I am asking for a raise actually. I'm like, if my wife can make a $10,000 bonus and she sits on her phone all day and she doesn't even leave the house really, I want a raise. And he's like, okay, well, here's $1 raise. And I'm pretty good with numbers. I was like, okay, well, that's not even like $10,000 a year. So that's like a slap in my face. I'm like, but obviously I took it. And then I watched Ashley double my income, and she hit triple diamond by her year mark. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm coming home. Like I'm not going to do this anymore. And I told Ashley, I was like, hey, if I could duplicate what you do you think that we could make double what you make? Because her first triple diamond check, I think, was like $13,000. And I was like, I feel like if I could mimic what you're doing and I could get on social media, and I'm very good at communicating with people. Like I'm definitely a blue mixed with a little red, but communication is like my number one strong point. I love talking with people. And whether it's like in it to benefit me or not, I still will have those conversations with people because I enjoy speaking with people. So I started to mimic what Ashley was doing. I started to work the business. I work the business as much as Ashley does. I post on Facebook all the time. I talk with people in person. I do a lot of like social media coaching things through businesses and like photography for businesses, social media photography. Like I'm going on a cruise for a real estate seminar just to teach them how to connect with people and how to build relationships. And it's like, if I were to go back to college, I would go into communications because that's something that I'm just very passionate about. I love connecting with people. So, I didn't write down any of the questions you had, but that's kind of like a rundown really quick of like my story. If you have any like specific questions also you just want to ask me, I'm so much better. Like if I write things down, you guys, I'm like all over the place, but if you just ask me a question, like I just answer because that's just my story. So like I know it. So I don't ever write my answers down.
Okay, awesome. I do have a couple of questions for you. One was specifically targeted to you. So that was, being a guy that is into fitness, have you ran into any problems trying to promote the products to friends or people who are really confident using their supplements that they use and or are on steroids? So is it hard for you to market our products?
Okay. For me, it's not hard to market this product to all you guys because I actually use it. So when you actually have a passion for something that works for you and you're actually a product of the product, it's not hard to talk about. Like I've had some distributors come to me and literally say, I don't even know if I believe in the wrap. And I'm like, well, have you tried it? Well, no. Well, have you tried any of our other products? Well, no. I'm like, how do you expect people to feel that? Do you guys know that like personal power is the true key to success, right? And that's having the ability to take action, right? Number one, the first step to personal power is energy. How can you bring that energy to the table if you yourself don't have a passion for what it is you're bringing to the table, right? You could say all day long, like, I'm going to lift 400 pounds at the gym tomorrow until you get to the gym, right? You know, you got that passion, that drive, but then the second step to personal power is skill. And that's where I'm so big on, like, you guys, it's so simple for me to bring up these products to people because I love them. I have phenomenal results on these products. I'm actually a product of the product. I wake up at 6 in the morning and I wake up at 5, and by 6 in the morning, I'm already doing my run. And I run anywhere from 1 mile to 3 miles. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day. And then from 9 to 11, I grapple and I do jiu-jitsu. And then from 5:30 to about 8, I kickbox or box or spar, or I do some form of striking. And the only way that I can get through my days is using the products that we have. I'll use my new U. I take my It's Vital Core Nutrition Pack. I use the shake and the ProFit. I have to use everything I can. I use the relief. I've got to recover the best I can. You guys, I don't know if you guys knew this, but if any of you guys take a pre-workout, I don't know. I can see all of your faces, so I'm looking around like, I'm sure a lot of you guys take a pre-workout. I don't know. It makes your body very acidic. But if you take your greens and you dump it inside of that pre-workout, it alkalizes your body, so it's taking that acidness that's going to make you crash after the pre-workout, and it balances it out. So that's another phenomenal reason any athlete would want to use our greens. The new U, it stimulates the release of your human growth hormone. So no, it's not going to shoot your testosterone through the roof. It's not going to make a woman have testosterone and grow hair on her face. It doesn't do anything like that. But it does balance your body out properly. It's why I have such a passion for this, because I've seen how I work without it. And I could maximum, if I'm getting ready for a fight, I would do like 2 a days. And I'm up to 3 a days right now. And it's because of the products we use. And as for like steroid use and people that are hard onto other supplements, you can't really force anything on anyone. And that number 2 part of personal power, the second step to personal power, is skill. And that means the skill of knowing what you want and also the skill to recognize what other people need. And if you go to someone, like I had someone comment on my shake review. I don't know if you guys saw it. I did just a quick little review on our shake. And someone tagged someone and he says, well, what if you need to drink 4 shakes a day? And I'm like, well, number 1, why would you drink 4 shakes a day? Like, I don't know anyone that needs 4 shakes a day. Well, and then he responded and said, well, he was actually a distributor. He says, well, I'm 265 pounds. I lift this much, but I don't have time to eat the amount of protein in food that I can because I work so much. And I was like, okay, well, what's your purpose? Like, what are you trying to do? He's like, well, I'm trying to put on mass. And I was like, well, then why are you looking into a shake? A shake is not designed to put on mass. I'm not going to push a shake on someone who's trying to gain mass. Do you understand what I mean? When people are like, well, if you compare our protein or our shake to someone else's, they've got 36 grams of protein. Well, number 1, their scoop is like this big. Okay. Number 2, our scoop is this big. So double up the scoop. I'm sorry, we got 16 grams of protein, 15 grams. Take 2 scoops. You just match theirs. It's not that they have more protein. It's that their scoop sizes are 10 times the size of ours. Okay. And the second part of that really is, you guys, if you're trying to gain mass, you don't want to use a shake. That's to lean you out. It's to make you look better. It's to make you cut that fat and get that lean muscle that I think is very desirable. As a fighter, my purpose is not to put on weight. If my purpose was to put on weight, I would be fighting very massive people. And I'd be trying to catch up in power to them all the time. So my purpose is to lean out, get as powerful as I can, as fast as I can, as explosive as I can. And that's a shake that would be a purpose for me. Don't try to push something on someone that they're not going to need, because then that's you saying, well, I don't really care about you. I just need to get a customer. You've got to put other people's needs first. And then, like I said, the second part of that personal power is the ability to understand what other people want. The skill to realize, okay, I'm listening now. I'm seeing when people post on Facebook and they say, man, I'm so stressed out. My kids are driving me insane. I don't know what to do today. And you're listening. So you say, hey, I don't know if you've ever been interested in this, but my company has a product called Confianza. Send them a few testimonials. That's showing that you're listening. You're actually putting their needs first. You're not trying to just get another loyal customer. You're actually caring about the people that you're getting involved with. The last step to that personal power, you guys, that I love these 3 steps because if personal power is a true key to success, those are like phenomenal steps you really want to follow. And it is turning fears into power. So being able to actually write that message you're afraid of. My wife is like a champion at turning her fears into her power. Because before Ashley really took off in this business, it was, hey, we need to pay the power. And I'm like, all right, so call them and pay it. And it was, oh, I'm not talking to them on the phone. She wouldn't even get on the phone to pay a phone bill, to pay a power bill, to do anything. Now my wife is constantly out talking with people, getting new leads, finding out what people's needs are, helping people grow in the business. And she's face-to-face all day long. So she turned her greatest fear into her strongest attribute in this business. She gets up on stage and talks in front of 20,000 people, and she looks very comfortable up there. Yeah, she might be freaking out inside, but she's still conquering that fear. So hopefully that helps. And as for like the steroid thing, people that are using steroids really aren't into using natural products anyway. I'm sorry, if you're willing to use steroids, you probably don't want our products anyway.
Okay, perfect. I don't know if you have the thread up, but there was a question for you. Are most of your customers men or women? And how do guys react to offering a wrap to them?
Are most of my customers men or women? I would probably say it's just kind of a toss-up. Like, I have a lot of female-based friends that have come to me for advice, and first and foremost, like, really, it doesn't matter what their fitness goal is. I'm like, let's get a wrap on you. Because if I can get a wrap on you, I'm going to be able to show you that these products actually work. And then you know when that wrap works, because that's the one I know you believe doesn't work. Once I show you that it works, you're going to be like, all right, show me what else you got. And that's when I bring in like, okay, well, what are your goals? What are you trying to do? Whether it's a man or a woman, I figure out what their goal is and what they want before I just start throwing products at them. If someone comes to me and is like, hey, what should I get? You should get greens, you should get New You should get the It's Vital Core Nutrition Pack, and you should get the shake. Oh, well, I really just want to tighten my skin. Like, I feel like my weight's on point. I feel like, but you didn't listen to what they were trying to say. So I'm a very big listener, and I would really say it's a toss-up between both. Like, I feel like I sign just as many women as customers as I do men. I'm very good at angling conversations to what I want them to be about. And I didn't used to be, but I've acquired that skill because I want to be able to conquer that personal power. So if I'm having a conversation with someone at the gym, everything I say is angled around New You. Like, yeah, dude, I actually feel great. Like, I use this product called New You. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's an all-natural HGH stimulant. What? It's HGH? I'm like, yeah, it's all natural too. I can get it to you for 40% off, actually. Just go to this website. My wife has a GoDaddy. She has a few different GoDaddies, which she created. It's a separate link that will, if you type that link in, that URL, it's going to send you to her website. And so I can create that website to whatever I want to be. Yeah, you go to this website, you get it for 40% off. They just make you order it for 90 days. You have to like opt into their 90-day challenge. But I say use it for 90 days anyway, minimum. And then you could like cycle off if you want to for a month. But that's how simple it is for me to angle my conversations the way I want to be about, whether it's a man or a woman. It's the same exact scenario, just different conversation. Did I answer that right?
Yeah, love it. Okay. So 2 more, and then we'll switch to Michael. So 1, when you did say that Ashley was on the phone all the time, that's a huge issue that guys, that unsupportive spouse or significant other or whatever have in the beginning. It's a problem. Like, they're not spending enough time together or whatever. So when you saw your wife on the phone all the time, what was your reaction in the beginning? So before she went diamond, and how are you more understanding of what you're doing if you weren't? I'm sorry, somebody needs to mute.
I just didn't hear the last part of your question, but I heard you say how. Maybe just say like the last few seconds.
Okay, sorry, somebody came on and it was loud. Okay, I think they got it. Okay, so how are you more understanding of what she was doing if you weren't initially? Like, when was it like, okay, she's got to do this to be able to, be successful in the business? Or were you just not in the beginning?
Well, my schedule was 12-hour days, and I worked shutdowns is what they're called, like at refineries is where I would mainly work, or like at the mine. and it was mandatory I was there for 12 hours, and it was an hour and like 15-minute drive. So really, I was gone for like 15 hours a day. Plus I always had to hit the gym, and I wanted to work out. So I'd get up at 4 so I could go to the gym before work. So really I was gone for like, gosh, almost 16 hours a day. And I would get home, and, Ashley was taking care of twin boys. And like her passion was like, she used to like to go to the gym. Like that was her thing too. And I saw Ashley kind of like getting into that stay-at-home mom phase where like she didn't really have like a purpose other than to take care of the kids. So when I saw her and how much passion she had working on her phone, I was like into it. I was like, man, I love that I see you doing something you love to do. So even from the gate, before she made any money, I was like, man, I just enjoy it. Like, yeah, every now and then I was like, hey, babe, I'm right here. Like, what's up? Don't forget about me, But how could I give her that much crap when she's taking care of our kids at home? She's trying to make income for my family. I'm sorry, you guys, but if you're the spouse and your wife is in this business working and she's trying to make more income for you, what is your deal? Chill out. Let her work on her phone a little bit. Quit being such a baby about it. I'm sorry, but I would trade my wife working on that phone like she has been for the last 3.5 years than going back to building scaffold in negative 16-degree weather in Utah like it is all the time. So I was pretty supportive. I was cool about it. I was like, man, I enjoy seeing you happy. I enjoy seeing you have a passion for something, Taking care of twin boys wasn't easy, and she was pregnant with our third child, Milo. So I was, I was all for it. I was like, yeah, babe, go for it, If you're not very supportive of your wife, I would get supportive because you guys are a team. How can you not support your wife when she's trying to help better your family situation, I mean, gosh, I couldn't imagine if I was like constantly on Ashley's back all the time about, babe, what are you doing? Get off your phone. Get off your phone. Imagine the opportunity I would have ruined for Ashley, or she could have quit and been like, you know what? The stress it's causing between me and my spouse, we're number one for each other. And if we're number one for each other and that's causing that much tension, Ashley would have quit. She would have said, no, I pick you over that. I'll pick you over fighting. So I put it aside and said, hey, when we would schedule times like in my house, typically after 9 o'clock, our phones are off. It's family time. We're always on the go, dude. Like I'm gone a lot training all the time. I fight all over the world. Sometimes I'll fight. If I get a phone call that I need to go fight in Italy in a month, I'm gone. I'm out of here. If I need to go to Mexico and fight, I'm gone. It's just at the drop of a hat, I could be gone. And I'm gone all day long training too. So when it comes to family time, it's very important to be like, hey, babe, 9 o'clock, phone's off. If it's very important and there's like a potential you're really trying to give this information to at the last minute, or it's the end. I always say the last day of the month is off limits. You can use your phone as late as you want. We don't put rules on that. Like you do what you got to do. But family time is after 9 o'clock. And it's important. If you don't put these boundaries in now and follow them, you're never going to do it later. So, I would say after 9 o'clock or whatever time you guys decide to go to bed, that's kind of like our, hey, family time. Let's chill out. Let's hang out.
Awesome. So what advice would you give to someone who they don't have a spouse? So they're in this solo and just, I guess as a man, maybe they're not, they're seeing women recruit. I have a girl who recruits like 75 loyal customers a month. And so looking at that, that's obviously like hard to compare to. So if they're working slower by themselves, so they don't have that powerhouse combination, what would your best advice be to them?
I'm a big believer in like the power of your mind. And the reason I say that is because like everything that I do, like for self-improvement type things or personal growth books, every single one of them talk about the same exact thing. No matter how many books, I've probably read over 300 books on personal growth, and all of them talk and are centered around the exact same topic. And it's the power of your mind. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. It's probably like a ritual to my family, to Ashley and I, because of how much power and how much it's empowered us and taught us. I'll give you guys just like a little scenario. If you think of the earth as your mind, you think of it the exact same way, right? Yes, our minds are way more powerful. But think of the earth in this scenario that I tell you as your mind. A farmer goes to plant a seed into the earth. No matter what the farmer plants, no matter what seed the farmer plants, the earth will push it out, right? If it plants corn, corn's coming out. If it plants strawberries, strawberries coming out. If it plants tomatoes, tomatoes are going to get pushed out. No matter what you put into the earth, it will push out what you put, right? And it doesn't care what you put in there. There's no rules about it, right? Same thing with your mind. Whatever thoughts you put into your mind will push back out. And there's no one that controls it. There's no one saying, hey, you can't put that in your mind. You have to put this in your mind, you know? So I'm a big believer in that. In this business, you guys, we have like a slow season. People say that, right? I hate that people say that. I really do, because Ashley and I, the first 2.5 years in this business, slow season didn't exist to us because no one told us that. Because we had in our minds to always grow. Ashley promoted to diamond in the fall. She promoted to triple in the winter. She promoted to presidential in the winter. In November to December, Ashley went presidential. And then she ended up going ambassador that spring. But I want you to think of something really quick. Because everybody was putting those thoughts into our head and getting us to put them into our head, then this year we had a slow season. It was like, wait, yeah, everyone keeps telling us there's a slow season. Well, that's what we were putting into our mind. Everyone needs to shut up about the slow season, right? We need to change our thoughts. Well, if you think of your mind the exact same way as the earth and you put things in there and your mind pushes them out, you have to control what you're saying. Like if you really believe that you're not good enough to get a certain amount of customers, then you're not good enough to. When we wake up in the morning, the first thing me and Ashley say, my goals right now are a little different than Ashley's. Ashley's goals are our Black Diamond and our customers and our distributors. And although I will always work a business, my goal right now is to win a world title in kickboxing. That's what I'm shooting for. I want to be the best kickboxer in the world. So when I wake up in the morning, I always thank the universe, thank God, whoever you look up to. I wake up and I'm like, man, thank you for helping me push it that much harder today. Thank you for helping me learn this today. Thank you for helping me be faster. Thank you for helping me take my half mile down to under 2 minutes. Those are the things I thank. Ashley wakes up and says, thank you for sending me that leader that I've been looking for. And you guys, she puts those thoughts in her mind, so that's what's happening. That's what's coming back to her, okay? I want you guys to understand what a must is and what a should. And until you turn your shoulds into musts, your business is never going to get out of that slow season that you're talking about. Because the excuse I say you have is, well, I don't have a power couple. I don't have a spouse to work this business with me. What are you talking about? Do you know that in skincare companies, they're predominantly males? In all skincare, like it's a skincare line, strictly skincare. The distributors and the representatives are predominantly male. We got skincare, but we also have supplements. We have lifestyle products. We have the body wrap. We have way more than just skincare. Yet we use this excuse that this is a female-based company. Why is this a female-based company? Because we have a body wrap? Have you seen our line of supplements that we have to offer? Have you seen how phenomenal everything is that we have to offer? Why do people say this is a female-based company? Our men in this business should be kicking just as much as the women are. And I promise you, when it comes to customers and distributors, I'm right up there neck and neck with Ashley. Yes, she always wins, but I'm really close every time. I'm really close. And one day I will beat Ashley. Well, probably not anytime soon, but someday. Let me get that world title, and then I will beat Ashley, okay? So my focus can come somewhere else. Now, when I'm talking about must and should, you guys, real quick, when I wake up in the morning as a high-intensity athlete, going to the gym, it's not an option. I have to go. Like, not going is not an option. I don't wake up and I'm not like, man, it's 5:30. I should probably go to the gym, but I'm not going to. No, that doesn't exist for me. I wake up and I go to the gym. It doesn't matter what gets in my way. It doesn't matter who tries to stop me. I go to the gym, and then I train and I eat good because it's a must. It's a part of who I am. If your child was learning to walk and they keep falling down, would you go up and be like, all right, that's enough. Like, you've tried enough. You should learn how to walk, but we're just not going to worry about it. No, it's not an option that your child doesn't walk, right? It's a must. Your child must walk. When you wake up in the morning, it's not an option that you don't go out and connect with 10 people. It's not an option that you don't go out and send out those 10 messages and talk to your potentials or follow up with people. It shouldn't even be an option. You must do it. You must when you wake up, write down your goals and say, okay, today I must contact 15 people. And I'm not saying go out and cold message 15 people. I'm saying go out and connect with 15 people. Go build that relationship. Remember, we are network marketers. But first and foremost, we network. Because how can we market without a network? You need to connect with people. Get out of your space bubble. Step up and do something you've never done. Talk with people. Grow your network so when you do market, you're actually tapping into the network you're marketing in, right? So turn your shoulds into musts, you guys. If your New Year's resolutions are go to the gym, stop waking up and saying I should go to the gym. Get up and go to the gym. Get a testimony for the products that we have. So when you talk about them, can you guys, I know we're on a Zoom, but can you feel the energy I have for this business? Can you feel the energy I have for the products that we have? I can see all of you. So I see some people nodding. That's good. I saw like 3. But I want you guys to understand, if you don't bring that energy to the table, no one's going to listen to what you have to say. They're going to brush you off like, oh, you're just trying to sell me something. Yes, everyone wants to buy something, but no one wants to be sold to. So stop trying to just sell to everyone you come in contact with. Stop doing that. Take a different approach. We're reviewing products. The best way to sell a product is to use it and show people what it did for you, right? Be someone who's reviewing a product, and people will say, man, because guess what? Everyone cares so much more about what your testimony is for the product rather than your sister's friend who used the wrap. They want to see what it did for you. They want to see what new you did for you. They want to see what the shake did for you, not what it did for your upline or your distributor or your sideline. Okay, so I think that's really all I have. Hopefully, I'm like out of breath because I got so into it.
That was perfect. Thank you. I do have some questions coming in, so I might come back to you later, but we'll switch to Michael for now. So thank you. Okay, Michael, you'll have to unmute yourself. Okay, you got it.
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So your story. Let's hear it.
All right. So my story in a nutshell. Let's see. I used to be a firefighter, retired now, and at the time when Amanda got in this business, what are we at? 3 years ago now. She came to me because she wanted to stay at home. She didn't want to go back to work. She wanted to stay home with the babies. And I was always supportive of anything she did. She's had a lot of jobs in her life, from customer service representative at a hospital to lifeguard, all these different things before she made it to her final career, which was she was a police officer. But she said, hey, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to stay home with my babies. And I was like, yeah, of course, no problem. So she did that. But we were starting to struggle, of course, living just on a firefighter salary, that was not going to cut it. And we were short each month. So after a few months of that happening and bills starting to go on credit cards and stuff, I came to her and I was like, hey, listen, I know you want to stay home. And you're going to have to start working even more overtime than I am, or you're going to need to find some kind of work, at least just to make up the difference. I told her we had a brand new car that we had because we needed it for our babies. And I was like, you need to make this car payment. That's the amount we need to get. So she started researching stuff. She found it works and said, hey, I want to join this company. And I was like, yeah, sure, go for it. But that was her thing. Like I said, wasn't unsupportive of it, but I wouldn't say I was super supportive, of saying, hey, yeah, what can I do to help? And it wasn't like that in the beginning. I just said, yeah, do your thing, because I had my job. I had my career. She did it for a couple months, or should I say she was enrolled for a couple months, but she didn't do anything. And she came to me one night saying she wanted to quit. And if anyone knows me, and especially my relationship with Amanda, is that I'm a tough love kind of thing. I was like, okay, like I said, I support her. You want to quit. But I was like, you didn't really try. And she'll tell you, I made her mad by saying that, but I lit that fire under her. And she decided, okay, I need to give this a try. So all of a sudden, over the next week or so, she was just deep into training. She was watching videos. She was listening to calls. I mean, she was just on the job training is what she calls it. Most jobs, when you get on somewhere, they put you through a program. She was doing that to herself. And she came in one night, though, and she had this stack of papers with her. And she goes, I don't know how to make money. I don't understand this. And it was a compensation plan. She's like, can you please translate this for me? Because I like math. I just do it for fun. So I'm reading through the compensation plan, and I was halfway through it, and I put it down. I looked over to her, and I said, hey, sign me up. And she thought I was completely crazy because she was just trying to quit. And I was telling her that she couldn't. And I was telling her to sign me up now as well, because I saw what this company offered. And I saw that, especially if you have a situation of a spouse, if not a spouse, we tell people, hey, a best friend, a family member, somebody, because you can compound the income, and for the same amount of work being put out, you're going to increase how much money is coming into your house. And so for me, that was just the light bulbs. It was there. I saw it, and I completely understood it. And so I joined her. Now, from that point on, did I know how we were going to do it? Not a clue. I'm not a salesperson. I just could see in the compensation plan that it was a possibility, but I didn't know if it would work out for us. I just said, we're going to try. When I do anything, like Todd said, I go for the best. I shoot for number one. I don't know if it's ever always going to happen, but I'm surely going to try. And we found really good success actually, you know, and when it started coming in, it was rolling. We just kept up with it because that's what they say: success loves speed, right? So we just kept on pounding away with it, and in 13 months, we together made it to ambassador with the company. And so from there, now it's just keep on going and just helping out everyone else on the team and get to do fun Zooms like this and hang out with you guys.
Awesome. So what does your role look like with the business? What do you do exactly?
I'd say it's definitely evolved, and you know, I feel like anyone's should, because if you just do the same thing all the time, you know, eventually I feel like your results are gonna dry up. You know, you got to keep changing it. So early on, I was less hands-on with the business. I was just definitely picking up all the slack I could around the house. Like I said, I was a distributor for sure with the company, and I would talk to people about the product, but basically I was just it. Like I was just what we call dripping. You know, I was just always using the products myself, being the product that Thomas mentioned, or I would just share with people stories about things I knew. And if anyone showed interest, I'd shoot them on over to Amanda. But yeah, you know, I'd come home and I was taking care of the babies and I was doing the dishes, cooking dinner, you know, all that kind of stuff. But then as the business grew, you know, more things needed to happen though, obviously, for yourself, you know, and anyone else. As you start to find a lot of success with this and you start making more money, you know, there's things like taxes come up. Well, like I said, that's a whole bunch of numbers that Amanda doesn't want to deal with. So that's me. You know, I'm the in-house CPA. I do all the reports and different tech stuff that you can find in eSuite. So she's more still the face of it, and I do a lot of the office work because that's what I enjoy doing. So, but don't get yourself stuck in the box though, because I mean, I have rap people. I've gone and hosted rap parties without her. I was the one there helping somebody launch. You know, you definitely want to be well-rounded, and that's where I try to. I mean, I really do anything I can to help out. And that's, if someone's asking me for advice, like, hey, what can I do for the business? The best thing is I wouldn't even tell them those specific things, because that's what I do. I tell them, hey, you need to sit down with your spouse and figure out what your strong points are, what your weak points are. You know, a lot of times I'll say to Amanda, maybe I've already done the things that are my job in the business. And I say, what do you need help with today? Because I've already taken care of the reports. So do you need help? She's like, oh yeah, I need to do this on Instagram today. Can you help me out with it? Of course. And, you know, just roll with it every day.
Awesome. So I have a couple of people. I have quite a few single dads actually, and then I have a couple of people who some of them are single, so they're working by themselves, and then some of them do have the spouse in the picture as well. But a lot of the main questions that I get is like, what should I do? So as a guy, would you say that it's important, because you were talking about recognizing your strengths, like knowing I need to be on the front lines and, you know, talking to people word of mouth? Should they jump into social media? What would you say as a guy who's just starting and maybe not has a spouse, but mostly not, we'll just say to make it simpler, what should they do?
Yeah. So obviously there's different ways you can build this business. You have people like McFarland's who they're old school with the company. They were around before a lot of social media was going on anyway. So they were completely belly to belly, where, you know, us newer generation, the newer classes of it works. Obviously there's a lot of the social media stuff going on. I think you have to do a little bit of everything no matter what. And then, yeah, if something is gaining traction though, you want to run with that. You know, if you're out there blitzing people, you're doing rap parties and you're working a social media account like Facebook, Instagram, and you sign everyone up as a customer at a rap party, but no one's biting on your social media stuff. Well, keep having parties. You know, don't stop there. That's successful. Book more. Don't quit on the social media. You know, keep working on that. Keep training yourself and find what the niche is for you. But you're definitely gonna have to do it all, because that's what we do it all too. Like I said, we were predominantly social media success, but I can't tell you how many parties we've done. We still do them. Whether they're just doing a wrap or a sample party, or what we like to do is launching our new distributors, because at least that gets us out there and just always being in the field. You know, things just like blitzing. Like I blitz all the time. But it's not obnoxious about it either. You know, don't feel like you have to just walk up to people and say, hey, have you heard of It Works? You know, that's just like how to me, Thomas mentioned the cold calling people earlier. That's the same thing. I don't like walking through a mall and there's all those booths in the middle and they're like, hey, come try this, come do this. Let me see your ring. No, if I was interested, I'm going to walk up to you and ask you about your product. So what I do, my blitzing is a subtle stealth blitz. I wear my It Works shirts ever. If I showed you my closet right now, it's, I don't know what, 80, 90% It Works shirts. I got rid of everything else because I wasn't wearing it. I gave it all away. Amanda thought I was crazy, but I was like, I haven't worn this stuff in 2 years because I wear It Works gear every day of my life. Because no matter where I'm at, what I'm doing, people see it, and then they start talking to me. And then it's so simple, too, because if people are nervous about talking to someone, no one's ever nervous when someone comes and asks you a question. I guarantee you, if I say, hey, go in this room and talk to 10 strangers, most people are going to sweat about that. But I say, hey, just go in this room and just hang out. And if 10 people had happened that I had set up, but they come up and talk to you and ask you a question about your business, I guarantee it'd be easier for you to sit there and talk to all 10 of those people and just tell them anything they want to know about this job. So do that. Do those little subtle things that make people come to you. And we have other tips too. You can do. I'm trying to remember who gave me this tip. I won't take credit for, but I've used it a ton. Is have things like your Blitz card though, but don't hand them it. Don't tell them about It Works. Just say, hey, I'm looking for some shirts. I'm going to a party and I need to match the color of my company. And people are like, oh, well, what's your company? What do you sell? There you go. Now you're just answering questions again. So it's just, like I said, you got to do a little bit of everything, but constantly looking up videos, talking to people, and finding new tips, new ways to spin it. Try these different things out until you find what is successful for you and run with that.
Love it. Okay, so kind of like Thomas said that at 9 o'clock their phones are off. So for you, how do you balance? And a lot of people, I just think in general, everybody has this issue, is balancing family and business and, trying to keep your house together and just a perfect balance of all of it while still being, playing with your kids and, spending time with your spouse or doing things that you need to do. How do you find that balance?
Right. And that's tough. I think it's going to be different for a lot of people. You really got to sit down and talk together. That's the best thing, is communication, and figure out what's going to work best for your household, your relationships. Us personally, my kids are young. I have one in kindergarten, my oldest. I have a middle and preschool, and I have the baby that's home all the time. So the way we work it out is, I'm a morning person anyway. So I get up with them in the morning. I take the kids to school that need to go to school, and then I come back and hang out with the other ones. When Amanda gets up a little bit after me, then she starts working the business, and I stick to being basically just stay-at-home dad. I'm not working the business during that time. When they all go down for their naps, then I can pick it up. I can do, like I said, my things that I do to help on the daily basis are streamlined. I can knock them out in just those couple hours there. So that way, then when the kids get back up from their nap, then I go back to being dad. And then, like how Thomas said, they have their set at 9. Once my son comes home from school, so that's like about 4 o'clock, then that's when Amanda, she'll stop working herself too. And then, so then it's just total family, knock out homework, cooking dinner, eat together, get the kids ready for bed. Like, they're all young, so they go to bed fairly early, like 7 o'clock anyway. So that time obviously flies by really quick, that family time. And then once they're in bed, then both of us are just cranking away again through the night until, my old man here, I fall asleep early. I go to bed like 9, but Amanda, she burns the midnight oil. But yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll sit here, like I think you see, I'm sitting in my big comfy bed right now. That's my office. I'll sit here and do a Zoom. She's over here working with new distributors that have joined us. That's how we pretty much work out our day. So.
Awesome. Okay. So, the last couple of questions, what would you say to a guy? His wife has been primarily working the business. He was super supportive in the beginning. He was like, okay, let's do this. We're going straight to the top. And then when that overnight success kind of didn't happen, then he's like, you know what? We missed the boat on this. It's not our time. It's just not going to work out for us anymore. And so what would you say to him, I guess, as he wants to step up and wants to start doing it, but doesn't really have a lot of hope for that.
I tell people that's just it. Like we are those kind of freak stories, right? It happened for us really quick, way faster than the average in the company. But you have to look at realistic things. I like to ask people, what's something you can compare even that type of money to? Because this is crazy money. They like they call it legacy money, right? But let's say what else out there could you do that I think is someone that makes even equivalent money to what we do? Doctors, lawyers, maybe. I mean, even those positions, that's not all of them. So let's look at either one of those, right? You have 4 years of college. You've got 4 years of med school and residency, and then you become you're a brand new doctor somewhere, or like I said, you're a brand new lawyer in a firm, maybe making decent money, right? Compared to what I used to do as a firefighter, I would have loved those salaries, but now with It Works, looking at the average ambassador salary, they're not even close to that unless they've put in a lot of time, and a lawyer has to have his own firm or something. So simple things like that. I'm like, okay, go do one of those careers. You're talking 8+ years of your life to get there. Well, put that time in here. I love Carla's story. She's told me before where I think she was 7 years in before she went ambassador. If I told you right now that, hey, you join me as a distributor, and that in 7 years you're going to be making average of over $30,000 a month, I'm pretty sure everyone I know would sign up for that. You just have to be willing to commit. But if I said that, hey, that's the time window, that's what it takes. The fire department, I had 11 years in, like I said, 11 years in, and I think I had 3 raises, not because it was performance based. It's government. That's how they work. And I definitely didn't get it. It was 3% max as if that was a good year. Some of those raises were low 1%. There's nothing you can do that's going to have this type of success, but you can't expect it to be, hey, 1 month in, all of a sudden I'm a triple diamond. Yes, it can happen, and that's the amazing thing. You have to remember, like, that the potential is there, but just because you failed and didn't make that goal doesn't mean you should quit. Just push harder and make that your goal next month. Keep on going.
Awesome. And then let's see. Okay, so you may or may not have advice on this just based on your life, but if somebody is working full time, so I'm sure you were, at the fire department when Amanda first started, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So somebody who's working full time and then just knowing, her schedule too, how would you incorporate this business when you already have a job, you're, totally wiped out whenever you get off work, and then just trying to find time to do something like this to make it successful, because you do see the vision, you do know that this has the power to, wipe out any income basically that you could make doing a lot more. Right.
I have a great answer for that actually and I tell people this all the time is you need to be intentional. I'm pretty sure 90+% of the people in the world I know on this Zoom anywhere, they waste a lot of time. You come home and you're on this thing, right? And you're sitting here and you're just scrolling your Facebook. What are you doing? You're not doing anything. So even if they come home and, like I said, they're tired, they're just wasting brain cells away, right? Doing that. I was guilty of it too. We all do it. Like I said, that's just that kind of social networking world that we're in right now. But it's how man and I work the business. Is you need to say, like, come home and be like, all right, once the kids go to bed, if they have kids, or after dinner, whatever, from 7 to 8 or 7 to 9, just solid. I'm going to do nothing except work my business. Whether, like I said, that be in E-Suite, checking reports and emailing people, distributors on your team or customers or anything like that, whether you're doing training videos, whether you're hopping on a Zoom, whatever it is, but you need to set that time frame and actually do it, and do that every day of the week. The amount of time you put in is going to add up, because a lot of people say, oh yeah, I'm working my business. I'm doing this and nothing's happening. And it's like, well, they're not working. Like I said, you're scrolling Instagram and Facebook feeds. that's not going to grow your business. And by being intentional and setting up those hard hours, like I said, you have that focused time that you're getting work done and you're actually accomplishing more than the rest of those times that you were of that 6 hours that you maybe spent scrolling in your day wasting. So 2, you work, the other 4, well, then you can do the family time and stuff like that because, you've done the work. The work's over. Now go relax and play. But you've got to be persistent about that and be true and honest to yourself to say, I'm gonna set up these times and I'm gonna do the work. And that's the only way you're gonna be able to do it. That's what I did. Like I said, from the fire department, because I was gone for 24 hours. I come home. I had my regiment, but like I said, I had those times where kids are napping. I focus. I work. The rest of the time, I don't have my phone in my hand. I really don't. I get yelled at all the time by like my dad or somebody because they try to call me, and I don't even have my phone on me. It's like sitting on the counter somewhere because I only work when I have those scheduled focus times.
Awesome. That's really good advice. Okay, so 2 more questions for you, and then I think one more is kind of more directed towards Thomas. But how many people do you try to blitz a day? So I think blitzing can be either social media and in person. So I guess all together, do you have a goal as far as how many people, like new leads that you want to conquer a day?
I honestly don't have a number because it like I was telling you earlier how I always have my gear on. I just try to get everybody. If I leave the house, I'm talking to everybody. And just like social media, I'm so on board with like what Thomas said because we do the same thing. I don't cold message or cold call people. I just connect. But that's what I do in person too. Like I'm a people person. I just love talking to people. And so even if they maybe see my shirt or something and they didn't ask about the company, I am not at all afraid to walk 15 foot out of my way just to go say hi to somebody. Like, hey, how you doing? I'm going to start conversations. I'm going to talk to people. And that's always going to lead into more. But you just got to be willing to, like I said, reach out. People aren't going to, bite you. They if anything, they're just going to, blow you off and walk away or something like that. But I didn't die, right? when somebody didn't want to talk to me. So you just have to keep on reaching out because that's what this is about, right? And that's not just this business. That's business in general. I don't care if it's a restaurant or it's a marketing company or whatever. If you want to grow your business, you have to be out there sharing. You have to be talking to people, getting the word out there that you have something. So yeah, like I said, there's not a hard set number. I don't say, hey, I'm gonna get 10 people, because in my mind, I don't know, maybe it's me personally. Like if I say 10, I might get to the 10 and stop, right? So like, don't put that number. That's you're putting a maximum already on yourself. Just go out there and say, I'm blitzing everybody I see today. Like, hey, blitz for you, blitz for you, blitz for you. I'm getting everybody. I'm not stopping.
Awesome. Okay, so one more for you. Has live videos talking about products helped, and is that something that you would recommend?
Yeah. So if you want to learn about those kinds of things, Google is my friend. I'm a green personality, so like I love doing research, and clearly Facebook is going to the live era. I mean, I was talking with somebody about it the other day that I was just watching some football this weekend, and in all the commercials that were going on, which that's prime time, that's a lot of money. Facebook was paying to put ads out about Facebook Live. Why are they doing that? Because they want you to use it. So clearly, like I said, why they've made that decision, I don't know. I see Chris peeking around the corner back there. Yeah, what's up, Ninja? So like I said, I don't know why they are switching to that trend, but the fact that a company is spending that kind of money to show me about their new product, they want it to be used. And if you do more research on it, there's like some really super techie people out there that have seen that, yes, certain things out there change algorithms and what people can see that you're doing. Going live on Facebook right now is one of those big things that really increase your algorithm. So absolutely, don't be afraid about, like I said, talking about it. Get on that live, talk about the products you got, be that product of the product. Because if you're not, someone's going to see you maybe but they don't know that you have this. Like I said, obviously I get seen how many times a day when I'm out walking around, if I go through the mall or the store for something, people see me, right? But if I didn't have my stuff on, if I wasn't talking to people, then they didn't know I had something to sell. They just saw me go by. I was just another person on the street. But you have to make those impressions, and that way they know that you've got something. Like if I walk past that building, if they didn't have the sign on that product on the outside their window, I would have known to go in there and buy it.
Perfect. Like it. Okay, so one more question for Thomas. Thank you, Michael, for being on. Super good tips. Okay, so Thomas, if you're still on, we have one question I think is more geared towards you, because he said, I am a martial arts instructor for the world's biggest organization. How do I market to this area without sounding salesy?
Martial arts instructor doesn't want to sound salesy. Right. I'm actually like a big believer in, like I said this quote already, everyone wants to buy something, but no one wants to be sold to, right? Like the second you feel like you're being sold to, you kind of put up that wall. Like even if you wanted whatever it is you were going in there to get, the second they start like hyping it up and trying to sell to you, you put up that wall. So for me, it's reviewing the products, like using them. If you're a martial arts instructor, you go in there with that energy and that like excitement, and you're like, I just feel good today, and you know, bring that energy to the table that you feel from New You or from your greens. And then when someone's like, man, dude, why are you all jacked up today? Like, why do you feel so good? Like, dude, it's these greens I'm taking and this New You. And you're going to get questions. People are going to ask you. But when you start to talk about the products, this is like something I'm very big on as well. Stop apologizing for what you're talking about. Have you ever noticed that people do that? Like I've witnessed this on one of my double diamonds. We go to lunch with someone, and it's someone. What this double diamond is like my best friend, so I can say whatever I want about him, right? So we sit down, and he starts to have a conversation with this individual we're meeting with, and it's for a potential through like real estate investing and stuff like that, and flipping houses. And he's like, "So what is it that you guys do?" And I was like, you know what? I always answer, and I'm always the guy who like leads from the front. I'm going to let my double diamond like step up kind of and take charge. And this is how he explains what we do. Well, so, you know, we like have this body wrap kind of, and the guy is so inspiring. He stops him and says, hey, stop apologizing for what you're selling. Like, listen, be confident in what you're talking about. Is this your full-time gig? Does this pay for everything you do? And he's like, well, yeah. And why are you apologetic to me? Why are you afraid? He's like, dude, you need to come in here with your chest puffed out. You need to be excited. You need to be like, yes, this product works. I use it. I have a passion for it. Be excited. Don't, if you come in, if you bring to the table this like low key, like, well, yeah, it's pretty good, I hear. And like, so here's the thing. No, get that, throw that out the window. Come in there, use your energy. If you're a martial arts instructor, you're probably a badass, right? You're probably pretty good at something. So you need to take that energy you have and that passion you have for that and learn how to use it over here. If you really want to make it, one of my favorite things that Michael talked about, you guys, is where are you going to make this kind of income at? I'm serious, you guys. My friends graduated college and they've got close to $100,000 in student loan debt, and they're making like $22 an hour. And I'm not saying that's a terrible wage. I'm not saying that's awful money, but what I'm saying is, where are you going to go with this kind of opportunity? When I listen to Tony Robbins talk, or I listen to Scott Alexander, or I'm reading a book, and they're like, you need to go and make your own opportunities. You need to go, stop waiting for something to fall into your lap. You guys, you got to think of this as like, you guys know what an American Express Black Card is? This is your American Express Black Card. This is your chance to actually make a difference. It's right here. This is the golden egg. Stop looking around and trying to find something else. We have products that work. They're phenomenal. I remember the last time we came out and said how many distributors we had that were paid out. It was like 110,000 paid out distributors. If the numbers change, you guys can correct me, but the last time I heard, it was about 110,000 paid out distributors. And we have a first-to-market product, okay? We had an 11-to-1 customer to distributor ratio, which means for every distributor we have an average of 11 customers per distributor. Let me share something with you on that, you guys. Mary Kay and Avon have, between the two of these makeup companies, and I'm not ragging on any network marketing company, they have 7 million distributors. Where do you think we're going to be at if we don't give up and we keep going, and you stop being afraid to talk with people about your products at your martial arts studio or whatever it is that you do? Wait till we have 7 million distributors. Where am I going to be at? I'm going to be in a pretty good spot because I'm not going to let my fears get the best of me. You know, most network marketing companies, you guys, are $300 to $1,000 to join. It's $99 to join this company. You're not bound into any contract. You've got an 80 BV auto shipment. Are you kidding me? I owned a salon, you guys, and it was like $2,700 a month to run the salon. To get it started, it was about $35,000 of my own money. And then I was like, wait, I'm only profiting $2,000 on this place a month? Look how much money I have to put into this salon just to make $2,000. I'm like, I'm sorry, girls, you guys are awesome, but you guys are a headache. Like, to deal with a company full of women is very hard, especially when you're the boss. Like, it's very stressful. So I'm like, man, I'm profiting $2,000 a month on this company. Look how much money it costs me to run it. And people are complaining about $99 to join this business. You're complaining about a product that stimulates HGH for $49. Go to GNC, grab a testosterone booster. Tell me how much you have to pay for that. You're talking $150. And it's not all natural. It doesn't have it. People ask all the time, how do you guys have such good products? Like, when I speak about this company, I speak very highly. And I pump people up about these products. Well, how can you guys have those? You guys, how can you have products so well? Well, we're debt free. We've got the actual money to put into these products to make them phenomenal. You know why our products are so badass? Because we have the money to back them up. We have the money to put into them to make them that cool, to make them that great for you. So when you're speaking about these products or martial arts instructor, and I'm not giving you a hard time, but I'm just telling you, listen, get over the fear of talking with people, because you have a network, I can tell already, if you run a martial arts school, that is huge. And that's an advantage over most of the people on this call right now. We had 200 friends on Facebook when we started, me and Ashley. I didn't talk to anyone I went to high school with. Her 3 best friends she banked on signing in this company never signed. To this day, they've never signed. Did that stop her from doing it? Did that stop her from? No, because she didn't let her circumstances of her past control her future. So yeah, I would definitely say, hey, get in there with a passion and speak with them and speak highly of these products. And if you're not using them, you better start using them, because you're not going to sell them to anyone if you don't actually have a product, if you're not actually a product of this product. If you don't find something you love or something that works great for you, you'll never bring anyone into this business. It just won't work. It might work for a little bit, but eventually it's going to stop because you don't have the passion for it. I feel like I should say cut when I'm done.
Oh, I have goosebumps. That was fire. Okay, well, I think that is all that I have. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's all the questions I have. If either of you guys have anything else that you want to add, feel free to do so. Otherwise, thank you so much for doing this for us. I really appreciate it. I'll post a recording. Have a great night.
Word. See you guys later.
Thank you.